In all your ways, one thing you should try know is to know God. Know Him. If you know God, everything is all right. Everything is settled. Everything is it's granted. Now let's look at the book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 6. For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offering. God desire mercy, not sacrifice. He desire we knowing Him, not burnt offering or whatever you may call it. So God is not interested in the offering we give to Him. God is not interested in the sacrifices we made that cannot satisfy God. What God wants from us is for we to know Him, keep His commandments. That is all. Because He believes that when you know Him and know His like and dislikes, every other thing follows. But you cannot try to impress God when you have not known Him. Don't even know what He like. Don't even know what He does not like. That is why a lot of people keep claiming to know God. They feel that they can know God through offering. You can't know God through offering. You know God by knowing who He truly is. This is who God is. So God is not He's not interested though. Believe you me, He's not interested in all these things. God wants you to have an intimacy. That is when intimacy now come into play. God desire intimacy from us. God wants us to be close to Him, very close. Then before I talk about offering and the likes. So go back, go and search for God. Go and search for God. Isaiah says something. He said, search for Him now that He's still close. It is now that God is still close that you can find Him, not by offering. Go and make peace with God. He said He desires mercy and not sacrifice. He desires mercy and not sacrifice. The reason why David was able to win the heart of God was not because of sacrifice, but because David is always seeking for God's mercy. David was always seeking for God's mercy. So there is no place that the Bible describes of a beautiful offering that David offered to God. No, God, David was he was sincere in his heart. We always want to know it, even though he was living a anyhow life. But David killed a lot of people. David did a lot of things. But the reason why God still chose him after his own heart and made him a king was because David always seek for God's mercy. Was because David does not wait for God to remind him that he have done something that is bad before seeking for His mercy. David is always going ahead to seek for God's mercy. Even the sins he commits and the sins he is yet to commit, he's always desiring and begging God for mercy and forgiveness. That was why in the book of Psalm 51, he said, God, I come before you with a broken and a contrite heart. That is what God wants. So it is after mercy and after knowing God. And that is why David says something. One thing I seek of the Lord, that I may know you, and that I may be close to you, that I may live in your house, that I may dwell in your house. That is a man, that is a kind of thing that God expects from us. Not staying afar. God does not want His people to stay afar. God wants us to stay close to Him. God wants us to be romancing. Want to be romancing together. Nothing about fleshy romance. There's a way you be close to somebody, you call it romance. God wants us to be romancing, like having an encounter, discussing one-on-one. What God wants from us is mercy and intimacy. Mercy, intimacy, and for we to have His knowledge about God. When you have knowledge of someone, you will not be misbehaving. The reason why we are still struggling spiritually is because we feel that our offerings and our sacrifice will be able to bring us close to God. But unfortunately, those things does not move God. What moves God is for we to be close to Him, intimacy, having His knowledge, enough knowledge of God. And believe you me, no man, no matter how but you can never know God finish. You can never know God finish. Apostle Paul, he tried it. That was why he get to a time he kept everything aside. He was saying in his heart was that I want to know Him. Philippians 3:10. I want to know God. That is our desires. So stop deceiving yourself. Try know God. Know who He is. And God will accept you and teach you more of His way.